I was appointed by Mel Carnahan in 1993, and I served until 2006. I was a little older when I went on the bench. I was 48 or so when I went on the bench. So I had a couple of careers before going to law school a little later than most. I don't think there was anything that was truly outstanding about my family and my upbringing, except that it was dotted with examples of how the law perhaps didn't work as well for those who looked like me. Thinking about the law and the kinds of judges that we've had over the course of years, probably very nice, great men, but who had a perspective that was born of their life experiences. So those who were charged with determining the outcomes of some cases didn't always make the same kinds of decisions. I think that if there were more diversity on the bench would have been. That's the kind of thing that led me to the decision that maybe I could prepare myself to take a step into the judiciary. And of course, by then, there were others along the way who were like light posts, Homer Phillips, Bill Russell, of course those who we all know like Theodore McMillan and Thurgood Marshall. All of those kinds of people lead the way, and you say to yourself, well, I think I could do that. I think I could make a difference. It has to be the law following the facts, and you can't just decide a case based on whether or not you call yourself conservative or whether or not you call yourself liberal. So I think moderate to center would probably describe that. Judges that I most admired were judges who were more or less even-tempered. Some judges even had philosophies that allowed them to teach while they were on the bench. And it wasn't so much the education as the wisdom that they were transferring. I look back in the associate division where I served, and I think about Judge Virgil Lucas, who served on the bench more when I was practicing law than when I got on the bench, and Judge Kerr in the circuit division. When you went into the division, you felt like you were going to be heard. And unfortunately, that wasn't the case in every division. I keep going back to the open-mindedness, the courtesy, the civility. Those are the things that I admire, and those are the things I saw in people like Judge Adolph and Judge Lucas and Judge Kerr. When you start thinking about all of the decisions that all of the judges and all of the history have made, you have to look at some and say, what were they thinking? And I imagine somebody might say that about something that I've ruled on, but notwithstanding that, the diversity of opinion, the diversity of experiences, those are things that are shared throughout the circuit. And having a diverse circuit means that you find more of that openness and consideration and being attuned to the times. I think when you came into my courtroom, the very least you could expect would be a fair hearing. And I think that's the most that a litigant can expect from a judge, is that there will be a fair hearing and a fair ruling. To both judges and litigants, I would say, lawyers, I would say, know your case. It's as simple as when you have a criminal case and knowing what elements you need to prove in order to make a case. In the civil arena, it's knowing what issues your case presents for the judge or the jury to make decisions on, and civility. I find that in the criminal cases, the lawyers tend to be more civil to each other than in the civil cases. I think judges appreciate lawyers who are civil.